Girl stuff is how we like to communicate our thoughts and feeling stories that can make you relate. And we talk to some cool people we met on the way. So thanks for tuning in. We hope that you like your stay.
Hi, I'm Hannah,
Hi, I'm Mel.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
and welcome to another episode of the GIRLSTUFF podcast. Today we are joined by the wonderful Chelsea Clark. Some of you might know her from Ginny in Georgia, others like me might know her from Degrassi, and today we're going to talk all about who she is and what she does. So, Chelsea, before I give an introduction on who you are, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea Clark. I'm very excited to be here. Love talking about girl stuff with girl stuff. And I'm just, just out here living life, just trying to get through this wonderful pandemic, doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of knitting, doing a lot of thinking, just all of the things to pass the time. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Oh, and I happen to act.
Yes, just a side job, So speaking of the pandemic, I'm also from Toronto, so I know it's been absolutely crazy with all the ups and downs of the restrictions and everything. But was there something that you got to do within the last year that you otherwise would not have had the time to even focus on?
So I've done a lot of knitting, which was actually a really sweet thing because my grandmother taught me how to knit. And then obviously when you're little, you're like, oh, I don't care for this. And then recently it's been really cool because I've kind of regained a excitement for it because it's just really awesome to just make something for yourself and then
Yes.
something that's also useful. So it's been really cool to like look at patterns and actually be able to figure them out and be like, oh, like I can make myself clothes. Like I don't have to rely. I'm like a huge advocate against fast fashion. Like I'm trying
Yes.
really hard not to participate in that. But then at the same time, it's also really hard because how else are you supposed to like find clothes? Like thrifting's a thing, but
Yeah.
sometimes that's a lot of effort. So it's been really cool to know that I'm capable of making my own stuff. And like
Yes.
that has really helped me throughout the pandemic because it's really like helped me regain a sense of like autonomy, I guess, or I don't know. But I've done a lot of knitting, done a lot of baking. I have a lot of allergies.
Okay.
So it's been really cool to like fiddle with recipes so that I can
Yeah.
actually try new things that I haven't been able to eat. So that's
Yeah. That's cool. So what's the coolest thing that you've gotten to knit within the last year?
um so like the only thing I've actually completed is this crop top that I made. Um but then I messed up and I can't fit it over my head anymore. But I would just like to say that it's finished. And a small child can fit into it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's good. That makes me
Yeah.
feel better. But yeah, everything else has kind of just been like, I find it like so therapeutic. So just even like
Yes.
the motion of knitting has been really nice. So then I'll just knit like long scarves. I
Just
knitted
long
one of
scarves.
my roommates like a little blanket, which was really cute. So that also exists. So I lied. It's the second thing I've completed.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't
Yeah.
say I was very good.
That's okay. You know what? It's funny because my entire TikTok feed has just ended up being people knitting crop tops from themselves. So I was like, this is fantastic. Like, good
Knitting
for
stuff on
you.
TikTok is like insane.
Yeah, it honestly
Why?
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, scarves and blankets are good because we all know the Canadian winter just is brutal sometimes. So you need that extra layer. So while you were knitting, did you get into any shows or movies or binge a series of anything?
Oh, girl.
Oh,
Girl. So love me some New Girl. That
yes.
was awesome. I also watched Julie and the Phantom because that show was so good. Also, they are all so talented. And then just a lot of aimless. Oh, I'm such a liar. I also watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'm currently watching The Legend of Korra. So if you have not seen those, you definitely should hit those up. But I
Okay.
like the fun, lighthearted ones. So those
Yeah.
have been the shows that I've kind of been spending my time watching, which have been very
Yeah.
sweet.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I think Netflix got everyone's money this year with quarantine because
Oh, 1000%.
what else are you
1000.
gonna do? Perfect. So, before we kind of get into Ginny and Georgia and talk a little bit about your role within that show, I want to just talk a little bit about your background in acting and how you got into it. So, first off, what inspired you to begin acting?
So it's actually kind of crazy. I never thought that I was gonna do like TV and film acting. When
Hmm.
I was young, I started off with singing, so I was really into singing, and then I did a lot of musical theater. And I was actually like planning on going the like singing musical theater route. I didn't really. I was also like 10, so I was like, I can do anything. I don't know. But then I went to a master class at my music studio with my current agent,
Hmm.
and that's kind of how I got into it. I just like fell into the like film industry, and I've kind of been doing it ever since, and I've really loved it.
Yeah.
So it's been really awesome because I feel like having a natural introduction into it really
Hmm.
helped because it kind of took the pressure away from like having this one goal and like trying to do it so like intensely, and I was able to just see if I liked it, and then I ended up loving it and being able to just continue with it. So I'm really happy
Hmm.
that that's the way that I got to start in.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, you're a very familiar face in Canadian TV because you know how it is. Toronto's always like, hello, we like you. We come back.
Toronto's a
So,
very small city, but it's
yeah.
amazing.
So you mentioned that you fell in love with acting. So what's your favorite thing about acting?
I think for me, it's the storytelling. I really think it's
Hmm.
important to see perspective with like different characters. Like I was a
Yeah.
huge reader growing up, and like my favorite part about books is you always get the background of people's thoughts. Whereas when you
Yes.
watch TV, the only way you can get that background is through like facial expressions or
Hmm.
like physicality. So I thought it was a really cool challenge to be able to provide the same amount of background information, but just using like your body and your voice and like your eyes.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my favorite part. I really like connecting with other people too.
Yeah.
Um, when I worked on a film for the first time during the pandemic, it was like insane how much I had missed being close to other people and like being
Hmm.
able to like look into another person's eyes and like do like things like that. So that was something that I didn't even realize I loved so much, which I'm now like very grateful for.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's mainly it.
Yeah. And, filming pre-pandemic and now during the pandemic, how has that kind of changed your views on acting and just the entertainment industry as a whole?
Oh man, it's this pandemic. I'm sure for years we are all going to be saying how insane it's been.
Yeah.
But I think it's been really nice because a lot of things that we used to take for granted just by chance, we are now so aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like film sets have a crazy amount of people on them. Like
Yeah.
small film sets will maybe have like 30 people and that's like tiny. And for the most part, like there's at least 100 people. Like,
Yeah.
because you have your cast and you have all of your crew and then you have all of your dailies and then you have like just craft and like there's just so many different aspects of it and you
Mm-hmm.
kind of forget how many people are involved. So going back like during the pandemic, and seeing the amount of people was like obviously like a little frightening because you're like, whoa, like I haven't seen this many people in person in so long. But at the same time, you forgot how amazing it was to be able to work together on something.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely something that I missed. I missed working together with other people. I missed getting to know other people and like seeing everyone's personalities and being able to like talk and just I mean, now I can't like hug everyone, but like mentally hug everyone. You know
Just
what I
air
mean?
hugs, air hugs.
Lots of air hugs, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like, I totally get it. I think we crave connection with other people because we've been deprived of it. And I think that's what, the pandemic just showed us to appreciate what we do have so that, like, I feel like post pandemic, everyone's going to be like, can I hug you? Like, are you okay to be hugged? Whereas before I've been like, hello, friend, give me a hug.
I know, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. So, what has kind of been the funniest or most memorable moment from any set that you've been on? So we won't just limit it to Ginny and Georgia. It could be any film set, any TV show.
The funniest moment.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Um,
funny memory or a memorable memory.
okay, they definitely are from Ginny and Georgia, not
Mm-hmm.
because none of my other sets were funny, but just because those ones like stood out the most. Um, but so Colton and like Tyson, who I call Ty Ty because he's just adorable, and like all of the boys on that set are just absolutely ridiculous, but in like the funniest way. Like they would hide around the trailers and just pop out and like scare people. But like it would be like late at night. So it's like maybe like midnight when we're doing like a late shoot or like 10 o'clock and they'll just like pop out and like everyone's just screaming and you just hear like a shrill scream. But then on the offhand, they were like just such like boys in the best way. And they would like have these little like they would go knocking on trailers and be like, "Are you busy? Like, are you like want to hang out? Like, want to like hang out?" And they would like set up their like PlayStation or no, it was a Switch. They would set up their
Okay.
Switch.
Yeah.
I don't really play video games. I'm
It's
just
okay.
this one's very obvious, very and then they would just start like playing games together and then like forget that we were like supposed to be, like working.
Working or
It was
something.
so it was so funny. That and then there was one time where I tried to crawl into like the AC vent, and then I got in a lot of trouble. But it was whatever, so I'm fine with it. But that definitely was one of the most ridiculous moments. I was like, oh, I also am at work. Copy that. But yeah, that they were fun. They're just fun, and it's just like
Yeah.
I can't even pinpoint more just because they just were so ridiculous. It was amazing.
Boys will be boys, right? That's always what it is. So. Now, some people, including myself, know you from Degrassi. You played Esme, in one of my, biased opinions, favorite seasons, if I'm being honest. So, what was it like to hop onto like a well-known show in Toronto television? Because you came in near the end of the newest segment of it, so there's so much history, so much like so many actors and singers have gone and come and gone. How did that feel for you?
Oh my gosh. So when I got the role, I was like in the middle of doing another audition and I like bombed the audition and I got a phone call and they were basically like, "Hey, by the way, this just happened and like you're going to be on the next season of Degrassi." And I cried. Like I remember looking out the window like on the phone, but it was like a hallway and like there were people walking and I'm just like like crying into my phone. Yeah, it was amazing. It was one of those goals that I really wanted and was really striving for, but I also like didn't really know if I was going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's one of the like you always have goals, but like the industry's so crazy because a lot of it's luck, a lot of it's things you can't control, so you
Yeah.
never really know. And I had been auditioning for that show since I was 13. So I had like been in that waiting room. I had been in those auditions for what, like 5 years? 13, 14,
Yeah.
15, 16, 17, 4 or 5 years. Um, and like at that time, when you hit 4 years, you're kind of like, is this ever gonna happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it was amazing. It was a dream come true. It was again, like I said, like I was able to actually like look at my like list of like goals I had and like check it off and then be so grateful for each and every day that I got to be on that set because with each day came all of the history of
Hmm.
all of the previous seasons and all of the other people that have worked so hard through that show and then continue on their own paths, whether it be in acting or in other
Yeah.
like other fields. And it was just so nice to know that it was a space that like took care of its actors and like looked out for these people. And then also at the
Hmm.
same time, it was such a nice space to grow and to like begin getting into more of like the wider world of the TV film industry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's amazing. And I think like, I've been following you and Sarah and Raymond all since I started watching Degrassi. So I was like seeing you guys all on the same show. I was like, that's so cool. Like you kind of came back together. So how did it kind of feel to work with people like Sarah again since Degrassi?
Dude, it was so good. Like, I cannot. Film sets are amazing because you get to know so many people, but a
Yeah.
lot of the time you're meeting brand new people, and to like be able to work with like the same people is not something a lot of people get to say they can do. So
Yeah.
being able to work with like Sarah and Ray, which who I haven't worked with, but like I had like we'd known,
Yeah.
it was just so amazing. And also like I went to high school with Rebecca. So like
Okay.
yeah, oh, me, Ray, and Rebecca all went to the same high school. So it was also crazy because I was like, oh, girl, like I see you, like we're here, and it was just so nice to be able to like feel that camaraderie of
Yeah.
like stepping on a brand new set, and like yeah, like everybody, like everyone was amazing. Like you get to know all these amazing people,
Yeah.
but it just like added a level of like ease and comfort because you knew like you kind of knew what you were walking into because you were like, okay, like I know these people and like we're just gonna be able to like get to know everybody even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I was hesitant to watch Ginny and Georgia. I'll be very, very honest. But this, Mel's rolling her eyes because she was like, Hannah, just watch it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to yet. But I watched the first episode. I'm like, I know her. I know these people. Like, hang on, And then I finished it because I was like, these are my people. Got to support my people. So
Yeah.
I always joke, tell me a show is set in Toronto without telling me a show is set in Toronto because of the people who are in it.
Oh yeah, we my friends and I do this like fun like jokes bingo game where it's like how many Degrassi people do you know or have met through the city? And like my roommates like served Ray and like you know what I mean? It's just like the fun connections of like
It's great. Yeah. Well, I mean, you and I probably ended up at like some concert. We were both there and just
oh,
don't
I've
know
been
each
to a
other.
concert where I've seen like three like people from Degrassi from like early generations
Yeah.
that totally have no idea who I am, but like I know who they are, and like I'll
Yeah.
just be like, oh wait, but I can't, but and then I'm just like music, like yeah, no, the city is crazy like that. I love
It's
it.
great. I know. I love it. Well, hopefully we'll get to meet at a concert or something.
I'm
Post
down. We can
pandemic.
do it. I'm sure.
Okay, perfect. So now that we've dived into your previous acting roles and a little bit about your newest role in Netflix's Ginny and Georgia, we are going to do a little game before we actually get into the nitty gritty of Ginny and Georgia with you. So the game is Who Said It? And basically we'll give you a line from the show and you'll just have to tell us who said it. That's it. Just who said it.
Okay.
All right, Mel's gonna take it from here.
Okay, so as Hannah explained, the game is Who Said It. I have some lines of the show, and you have to tell me which character or actor said it. The first line is, I quit being a mom, the hours are long and the pay sucks.
Is that Jen? Yeah? Wait.
Yeah.
What's yeah, it's Jen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chelsea's just
Okay.
gonna give us their government
I
name.
know, and now I'm like, there's too many names. Now I'm like, I can't even remember.
Government names are fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you. Okay, the next line is, fall in a ditch.
Oh, that's Maxine. That's Sarah. Yeah.
Okay, continuing, we're like penguins. We can't fly, but maybe we can learn to swim.
Also, hold on a second. Can I just, that scene and also like the kiss on the temple, just, I, like, my emotions cannot handle that. Hold on, sorry, I'm having a moment apparently. Okay, so that's not, Georgia. That's not Bree. Bree doesn't say that. It's Zion. Zion says it.
No,
No.
it is.
Oh, it is Bree. Shoot, but it's young. Oh my gosh, you're right. It's Nikki.
Nikki.
Nikki says it.
Yeah.
You're right. He just kisses her on the temple and makes me want to cry. You're right.
So cute. The next line is, no pants, no dare.
That's Tyson. That's Brody. No, it's Colton.
Yes.
No, it's me. No, it's Colton. Yeah, it's Colton.
Well, clearly you know which scene it is, so.
I did. I was like, it's one of the three.
Okay, the next line is, she asked me for weed, she wasn't that friendly.
That's Felix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're killing it, you
Doing
are.
amazing. Okay, the next line is, cool people don't say they're cool.
Ginny.
Yes.
Yes, look at you.
And you were scared of this game before.
I'm still terrified of this game.
We're like halfway through.
Okay.
Okay, the next line is, your mom sort of scares me.
That's Maxine. Shoot. Ah! I like can see it in my head, but there's a question mark in the place of a face. Your mom kind of scares me. Is that... No, that's not Abby. Me? No. I don't know. Who is
As a
it?
hint, it's one of the guys.
Is it... It's not Mason.
Yes, it is.
It's Mason? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
Hey, at least you picked the right guy. For the first guy you picked was the right one, so we'll give you that one.
Okay, the next one is, that's such a bummer, there are no good gays here.
Oh, that's Maxine.
Yeah.
That is Sarah. Yes.
Okay, the next one is, through the lens is how the world makes sense to me.
Zion?
Yes. You're killing it.
Killing it.
And a line that I like is, you're amazing, you're the best, and I'm just over it.
Is that Maxine again? No. Who is that?
It's Abby.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Because I like died the first time I heard her say that line because I did not think that's what was going to happen. So I totally forgot about that one. You're so right. That's such a good line. You're so
It's
right.
so passive aggressive, and I love it.
And she just like gets so defeated at the end. And she's just like, I know.
Okay, the next line is, unless your name is Jesus, I don't think your birthday counts as a holiday.
Georgia? Now I'm failing. This is where it all goes downhill.
You're
Oh,
close.
is it Jen?
No.
No. Is it Jenny?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the next line is, happy Friday.
Is it a line or is it a song? Is my question.
Maybe
And that's
both.
Mason.
So have you ever, since the show came out, have you ever actually sent a Snapchat like that? With the Happy Friday? Or received one like that?
I mean, like, I've done it to Mason. Or
Okay.
like I was in Vancouver and on Friday I think I saw him and then it was just happy Friday. And like I can't do it, but like it was great. I got a first-hand experience of that one.
Okay.
Firsthand, yeah. That was a fun one.
Okay. We got 3 more lines.
All right.
The next one is, I will not be doing that.
That's me. That's me.
I love the scene where they're just slapping each other and you're just like, I'm not doing that.
That was so funny to film. It was just like it was just a funny day. It was just crazy. Like we did that for like a solid amount of time. So after like I don't know, like an hour and a half of like filming the same slapping scene, like you feel like you're in a fever dream.
Okay, the second to last line is, indifference is the best revenge.
Is that Ginny?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one too. I like that one.
Okay, the last line is a little bit tricky
Oh
because
gosh.
it's just two letters. It's ah.
You gave me ugh. We're ending on ugh.
Yes. You're in the scene though.
I'm in the scene.
Yes.
I'm in the scene and someone goes ugh. Is that not every scene? Um, is that Sarah? Is it Maxine?
Close.
Is it Abby?
No.
No, now you're further. Now you're in colder water.
Oh, is it Felix?
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually good. I like that. That's good. Nice.
Okay, now that we got to play.
Cool. So the audition, so I auditioned for Nora. I know a few people like audition for different roles, but I auditioned for Nora. And I did an audition, and then I was like, so what I do with every audition is I kind of like, I prepare myself, I do the audition, I give it all 110%, and then I just have to like forget. I have to like forget about it and like throw it out the window, because if I don't, I will go nuts balls. It's really hard. It's a weird thing to like constantly put yourself out there and then hear no feedback from, because that's usually how it goes. You don't hear anything back if it's a no, and then you'll get a call back if it's a yes, right? So I remember I did the audition and then I threw it out the window and I was kind of like, cool, let's get on with my life. And I didn't think I was going to get anything back from it. I thought it was just another audition. And then I got a chemistry read, I think, and I got the chemistry read with Sarah and with Katie. So I was like, oh, this is cool. But again, like you can't like build up your hopes because you're like, ah. So I remember we met for coffee before, and we like prepped the scene a bit, and like we chatted, and we all like, well, obviously me and Sarah knew each other, but I think Sarah sort of knew Katie, and like I knew of Katie from the grapevine. So it was also just cool to just like get to know somebody else. And then we did the chemistry read, and then we were in front of like Sarah, Anya, like Deb, and then obviously Jason. And then we left, and we were all kind of like, cool, well, that was fun, but also like, we don't know who else is auditioning for this. And maybe hopefully something will happen. And yeah, it was just kind of crazy because we did the chemistry read, and I, at that point, had fallen in love with everything that was happening. And I just remember I was like, shoot, like I'm gonna be so heartbroken if I don't get this, but also I can't think like that. And then I remember I got the call that I had gotten the part, and I was just like speechless. Like I was just so excited. So yeah, it was actually a pretty simple auditioning process. Sarah, like the creator, told us later on that she was like, "Oh yeah, like you guys were like we could see the character in you by the time we did the chemistry reads." So that was really cool to know, because we were all like so nervous going into it that we were so unsure. And she was like, "Oh yeah, like we were like you guys were great." And I was like, well, that would have been good to know, because I like sweated through like three shirts, like you know. But yeah, it was like a really simple process, which was really nice because sometimes they're not. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And the rest is history. Oh, there are so many. Um, so sophomore sleepover was amazing. Like we walked through it before we started filming, and it was like it was so cool. Like we did like the photo booth stuff separately, and like we got to see everything, and it was just like amazing. Like it was so awesome, and it was also hilarious because we all do the Cupid Shuffle in that. But as Canadians, I didn't know what the heck that was. And I was talking to my cousin who like used to live in the States, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like that was a thing. Like that is a thing. Like everybody knows that." And I was like, "I don't know." So like we had to be taught by the Americans like that were filming that the day of the Cupid Shuffle. And then the best part is like when you film scenes with music, you film them silently, so there's no like they're not playing the song while you're doing the dance. So they would play the beginning and then we would have to like keep going, but there's no music and it's just a room full of 50 silent people like jamming out, but it's not like a cool silent disco where everyone has headphones. It's just like it's just silence, and then there's like like the camera crew is like going through, and then you're just trying not to like run into it but like trying to be natural at the same time. It was so funny. And it was also hilarious because there were so many like lights, and I had a concussion at the time. And I remember my brain was just broken by the end of that day because I was like, wowzers, like there's so many things going and I cannot handle any of them. But it was really fun. It was really fun. It was really funny. Halloween was also hilarious because when we were filming that beer pong scene, I don't remember who was supposed to win, but it was like one side was supposed to win and we were like supposed to let them win, and then the other side was supposed to lose, but they were just so bad at the game that like one of the takes my team like overtook the other team and we were like, you lost, like, and it was just like it got so competitive, but like in the best way because they're these little freaking tiny little cups, and like you're trying to flip. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It literally felt like a party. It was great. There were just so many moments on that show that were just hilarious to film. Yeah. My favorite episode to watch, that's very difficult, because it's every episode. Um, I I don't remember which episode it is, but I love Ginny's monologue about the boxes. So I can't remember. That's like 8 or something, I think. I don't remember. So that's my favorite just because that sits very close to home for me, and I know a lot of people on the show could also relate to that kind of just to everything she was saying. So what I really loved about the show was that it had so many comedic moments that were so true, and they never seemed forced. It was never like we're gonna try and make this funny. It was just we were able to like naturally be our characters, and then in that allowed the scenes to be funny. But then you would also have scenes like again like the monologue scene that get to be so raw and so true. And I think it's really important because that's what I love about the fact that it also is set like we're also in high school, is that high schoolers are like just like everything. You know what I mean? Like I just thought it was so nice to see something so raw on TV and just address things so obviously, but without making it seem like they're teaching you a lesson. So that's what I really appreciate about it. It's also really nice to hear someone articulate what it feels like to be like a mixed person, or to just even feel like you don't belong, because you can take that monologue and you can pull that in so many directions. So I really appreciated that. I thought that was really great. So that's definitely one of my favorite episodes. And then all of the ones with the fun parties are also my favorite episodes. But yeah, that one sits close to home. My favorite line from the show. Um, you really are. I'm like having a flashback through my like mental cards of like every single episode. What a intense question. My favorite line. Okay, so my favorite like heart-wrenching moment, I guess, would be the like temple kiss because I think that's just makes me want to cry so much. And then my favorite line would be, gosh, why? So hard. Okay, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna not tell you my. Okay, my favorite funny line is Tyson's "Let's get weird" because I think that's just ridiculous, and I love how he does that. And then definitely my favorite scene for Ming is the slapping scene, just because I think it's so nice to see like both sides of like us not being there for Abby, but also like yeah, we all have our own stuff going on, and like we're allowed to have our own stuff going on and not feel bad that we have our own stuff going on, and then the whole cathartic slap, and then like being friends again at the end. I thought that was just so sweet, so that's definitely one of my favorite um, lines, multiple. Oh my goodness gracious. My favorite character? My favorite character? Okay. All right. Let me think. 100% hands down Nick. That's not his character's name. What's his character's name? That is his character's name. Is that his character's name? He works in the office with Okay. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, me too. I was like, whoa, there are so many crickets up there. Yes, my favorite character is for sure Nick because when we were filming the scene um, the in the house for the birthday for the Sweet 16, every single time he came in, he had a different line. So, like, Little Orphan Annie was just one of the multiple lines that he like improv that were so freaking funny that and also like getting to watch him sing Avril Lavigne take after take after take so iconic. I like cannot like he's in full drag. He's in full drag, and we were just oh my gosh, it was so iconic. It was so good. But he is definitely my favorite character. Also, just the way that he talks about children, I think is hilarious. Like he has that line at the beginning where he like says like, "Oh, then this like he I don't know, I can't do it." He has that line about like, this is why I don't have kids," or like, "I love kids and like this is why I don't have them." Because of the babysitting? Yes, that's what it was. I don't remember what the entire line is. I don't have all 10 scripts in front of me for all of these difficult questions. But he, I think, is amazing. He's just like also just an amazing like actor and like a person. He's really cool. So I laugh every time I see him because it's just so nonchalant. Like just all of the everything is just nonchalant and it's hilarious. Yeah, he's great. I love him. What I want to see in season two. I want to know what happens to Ginny and Austin on that bike. I would like to know. I would also like to ride that bike. I don't think that's going to happen, but I would like to. Um, Manifest. I know, I'm putting it out there. Now it's immortalized. I definitely want to see what happens there. I also, obviously, would love to see what happens with Mang because I'm scared. I'm so scared. Um, so I'm really excited to see what happens with that. Just because we'll see if friendships are forever and if May is forever, because I don't know. But I'm really excited to see that. And then I'm just really excited to see what other aspects of life that they're going to add in. Right? Like we don't really get to know what happens in the show until like we get there and then they like show it to us. But I'm like really excited to see what they pull from day to day life. And also, I'm also kind of excited to see what they leave out because the fun thing about TV and the fun thing about fictional characters and fictional worlds is that they're fiction. And we get to pick and choose what we want to include and what we want to exclude. So I'm just excited to see how they're going to play with that and to see where season 2 takes us. And I hope it's as jam-packed as season 1 because that was fun and more maybe junior sleepover, like maybe we'll just keep going. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it.
I think there's a lot of characters who we don't get to see their backstory, right? Like we don't know a lot about Nora, we don't know a lot about um, the two. I can't remember their names now, but even like Mason's character, Colton's the other one, I believe. His character, like
Colton, oh, Jordan and Brody.
yeah, like we don't know their backstories. Like we know a little bit of Abby's because of that last episode, but it was mainly surrounding Ginny and Georgia and their family. But what about the rest of them? Just like you said, everyone has things that they're going through. So what are they going through? And how can we portray that and see that and put it out there? So here we go. We'll just manifest all of that in. All of that.
Yeah.
Now that we kind of went deeper into Ginny and Georgia, going to the fans, did you ever expect to get this type of reception from the audience?
Oh man, oh man. Absolutely not. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am eternally grateful for it. And I just am flabbergasted about it. Just because it just boggles my mind with anything you do. Like even the like feedback from Degrassi, I was just kind of like, it's so I'm starting 7 different sentences in a row. It's great. It's just amazing to know that the stuff that you do people see and it resonates with other people. So for me, I just seem to keep forgetting that, not in like an I'm ungrateful kind of way, but I just sometimes forget that other people get to watch this show and that they get to like see the cast and like see me and have it resonate in their life. And I think that's so cool how you can play a part in someone's life through a show without knowing them and without like, you know what I mean? Like you have your show that you're like, this got me through a hard time, or you're like, this show is so important to a specific chapter of my life, and you know nothing about like the person that's playing that role. You're just immersed in their character and immersed in their world, and it just amazes me the feedback and the positivity and the support that everyone has given all of us. And it just makes me so happy, but also like is kind of crazy because I never expected it. And it also is nice because I feel like there's also a level of responsibility to give back to your fans and to give back to people who, like I guess ultimately like look up to you or at least look at you. So that also is really humbling for me because it makes me think about the stuff that I put out there and how it can affect other people. And I try to be cognizant of that, and I try to make sure that like, it's positivity and it's like body positivity or like, just general good vibes, just because I think it's really important, like you said, for females to like have females' backs, and also just to know that the world is changing and not everybody looks the same anymore. Well, you know what I mean? Like at least what you're seeing. So that's really exciting for me because I really want to participate in that. So yeah, it's been really cool. It's been really cool and it's been really sweet. And I'm just very grateful for all of it.
Yeah, I definitely just want to put a note out there that I love the posts that you always do, like whether it's your stories and it's just so carefree and here's my life and here's what I do type of thing, rather than it being like picture perfect or anything like that. You're just like, this is who I am, and then this is what you get by following me. So I love that. Like I always love seeing it, and it just makes me happy because I'm like, Chelsea.
That means a lot to me. It's really hard. Instagram's hard, man.
Yeah.
That platform is amazing, but at the same time can be so toxic. So I'm just really trying to stay true to myself. So I genuinely like really appreciate that because it's hard to put yourself out there. So I hear you.
Yeah.
And I think like people see you and what you post. Like I did this whole drawing series about mindfulness and putting stuff in people's heads, and I asked for each of you guys what I should put in your head. And for you, I got like sunshine, happiness, and all like these cute things, and obviously like bike riding and stuff. But like so
Like
many
tuned up
people,
today.
but so many people said like smile, sunshine, happiness, and I think looking at you now, that resonates perfectly.
Thank
We're
you.
just gushing you, just gushing on you right now. That's it.
You
That's what
guys
we
are
do for.
gonna make me cry. That's very sweet. Yeah, that's very sweet. Thank you.
Okay, going off of that into more heavy stuff. Um, do you ever experience performance anxiety, and how do you deal with the fear of potentially messing up?
Oh, 1000%. 1000%. Um, so I went to an arts high school. I've been in the arts pretty much my entire life. And it can be very difficult because, like you said, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people that strive for the same goals, and not everybody is secure in themselves enough to allow for other people to be successful alongside someone else. And a lot of it is clawing your way to the top, and everyone thinks only one person can make it to the top. So there's been, like, especially when I was like in my like teens, there was so much anxiety. I didn't like, I also have anxiety. So when you're learning how to deal with that and learning how to like be mindful and like be good to your mental health and be good to yourself, and then at the same time you're constantly bombarded with like teenage angst and like, you know, competition, whatever, it just be like females on female competition and like, you know, just art stuff. It's a lot, and it's really hard to, again, put yourself out there and just be yourself. And there was definitely a point in my life where it was a lot easier to just like put on a happy face and just not deal with any of the other insecurities or other feelings that I had that were making me anxious about putting myself out there, or like I would stop doing things that I didn't feel as confident about because I was like, oh, well, I'm not the best, so why should I even bother? So there's definitely, and like to this day, I still have that. Like learning new instruments is always really difficult for me because I've always wanted to like do really well at them. But then I'm like, oh, but I'm starting so late. Like, how am I supposed to be as good as these other people? And then you kind of just have to get into the mindset of it does not matter. Um, and it's about doing it for you, and it's about learning it for you and enjoying the feeling of what it gives you. So I've definitely had performance anxiety. And yeah, I just don't remember your question, not gonna lie. So I'm just also trying to think of what to say.
You answered it perfectly.
Good, good.
No, no, but you mentioned the entertainment industry can be brutal. What is like some advice you would give someone who wants to venture into this field of work?
Advice I would give to someone who would want to venture into this field of work. It's so cliche, but definitely be yourself. Um, I know it's very cliche. But I guess what I mean by that is be yourself, and also something I'm trying to be better at is being okay with taking up space, because we are allowed to take up space. And I think a lot of us have it in our minds that it's okay to be yourself so long as you're not inconveniencing other people. And that's something that I'm still working on. And I think that's something that's just genuinely hard to deal with, especially if you get like spouts in your life where people tell you not to be yourself, or they tell you to lessen yourself because you're making other people uncomfortable. I mean, obviously, like if you're making someone actually uncomfortable, like you probably shouldn't be doing that thing. But what I mean is like there have just been many times in my life where people have been like, "Oh, like you're super fun, but you need to like adhere to you need to take it down a notch. Or like, you're so loud. Like, why are you loud? And it's like, I need to remind myself that I'm allowed to do what I want. And it's okay that other people don't want to be around me. So that's the advice I would give. It can be tiring. So as long as you know who you are, I think that's mainly what it is. Know who you are, and be true to like the values that you have, because that's what's going to keep you going, and that's what's going to keep you grounded.
One of the things I just want to quickly touch on before we go on to the next section is, a lot of the times females, and especially young females, always get looked down on because of our age. For me, for work, I'm always like, yeah, I know I'm 25, but like I went to school for this. Let me do what I went to school for, right? Do you ever kind of experience that, like that point where you're like, listen, I know you have my best interest at heart, but like let me do what I'm skilled at doing and I know how to do? And how did you kind of overcome that, like as a woman and as a female who's just trying to make her mark in this field? Because it's tough.
Oh, I mean, even in day-to-day life, being a woman is hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think it's hilarious. I never really like actively remembered being mansplained to, except in the past 3 years of my life. Because, like, I don't know, like when I was younger, I was also a lot more like, oh, like, I don't know this. Like, yeah, explain it to me, like, whatever. And like, I'm sure like half the times, like things were actually being explained to me. But it was only now that like, like I've done like a bit of university, I've done school, I've done like, I've studied, I've trained in like acting too. And it's like, you say something and you know that you're right. And then you have someone say it back to you or explain the exact same thing to you. And now I'm kind of like, well, no, I just said that. Like that was me.
Yeah.
That was not you. That was
Yep.
me. That was not you. So that I guess that's not really what you were saying. You're talking more
No,
about like,
that too, like mansplaining, there's our world sucks with just mansplaining and
yeah,
misogyny, that like it's a big factor of everything. But yeah,
so
like just like how do you kind of then take that situation and be like, okay, move on. How do I move on from that as a female, like being mansplained to or anything like that?
Um, so specifically in the industry, I think what I'm also learning is like I started as like a child actor and now I'm obviously like an adult, and there's definitely like a different tone that you take with child actors to adulthood.
Yeah.
So I think it's just again, being sure of who I am, being sure of my skills, and then being confident enough to not get pushed around, which is really hard. And I acknowledge that it is very difficult because you get to the situation and you're like, okay, I'm going to stand my ground and I know what I'm saying and I'm going to make sure that I don't compromise on things that I need or compromise on like, like intellectual property or things like that, and not have things be pushed aside. And it's tiring. And it's all talk until you have to actually do it, and then you do it, and then it's empowering, but it's also it takes its toll. So I think for me, again, it's just kind of being confident in what I know, and obviously being open to like other perspectives, or like if I'm wrong, having the humility to accept that
Yeah.
I'm wrong, but being sure enough in myself to stand up for myself, and then to not back down when I'm challenged. So that's a fun thing that adulthood gives you,
Uh,
which is great. Love it.
Love adulthood. Love the independence. This is You want to be independent? Well, here you go.
Literally, literally.
All right, Mel, you can
Okay.
take it to the next section.
Okay. We're gonna end the interview with some fun questions, just a random assortment of questions we like to ask people to get to know you and what you're about more. So I say they're fun. Most people are like, why are you asking me this? This is so hard. So we'll see what you say. The
Probably
first
that, to be honest.
Okay, the first question is, what is one artist you can listen to on repeat and never get tired of?
Girl. Why are we
I
like
was saying she's saying Ginny and Georgia lines were hard. Wait till the song questions.
Okay. Who can I listen to on repeat and never get tired of?
3 is B.
Am I supposed to take out my Spotify playlist now? Now I'm just trying to think. Oh, actually, okay, I have one. Sammy Ray and Friends. They're like a band group. Like Sammy Ray is the lead singer, but they have like jammin' songs, and they are so good. There's like a sax involved. I love them. I think they're really cool. Also, I literally before this interview, I was listening to Ralph, who is a Canadian artist, and she actually has a song in Ginny and Georgia.
Okay.
But she's really cool, and I was listening to her music just now. So I'm gonna say her because I also cannot think of anyone else, which is a lie. I can think of like a lot of other people. I just don't want to give you like a full list of everyone I listen to. So let's do that. And final answer.
Okay, continuing with the next hard question. What would you say are your top 2 favorite songs of all time?
It's very unfortunate this is a podcast because I feel like my facial expressions are on
Oh,
point.
it's a video podcast, so
Oh my goodness. Well, great. Oh my God. Okay, wait. No, I actually have to look this up. I need to know. Cool. Because I can't give you the wrong answer. I have to tell you the right answer. Okay.
see, now I just want to see what your Spotify Wrapped was for 2020. Like that's all I care about.
Okay, right now, I say right now because it changes, like
Yes.
it changes.
Yeah.
Right now, my favorite song is called Vodka Lemonade by Bella Coppola. Coppola?
Okay.
I know but listen to it
Yes.
after this, and
Yeah.
then you will understand why. And then my second favorite song right now is I don't know why I had to look at my phone. Olivia Rodrigo and
Yes.
just everything she's put out.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, shoot, what was it? Good for You, because it like reminds me of Paramore, and I love Paramore.
That's what I was like misery business, right? I was like,
Misery Business. I played that for my sister because she's 17, and
yeah.
like obviously was like, this is
Yeah.
literally just the vibes that I want. Also, that music video was dope. I love that music video.
Yeah.
And then obviously when Driver's License came out, I also was on that. And then when Deja Vu came out, I also was on that.
And now there's a whole album with 12 tracks, so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She just said, here's the content. Enjoy.
Literally. I'm really into the conspiracies too about like Sweet and Sour, and like if she's gonna come out with an album called Sweet.
I mean, she is a Taylor Swift fan, so I would not put that behind her. Like,
I'm into it. I think that would be like the like most genius like marketing plan. Like, and then she had
but then she did Sour Patch Kids for
Exactly.
Sour.
So
So
then
what would she
what's
do for Sweet?
Exactly.
On the Sour Patch Kids, it says first sour, then sweet. It says it on the packaging. That's their slogan.
Well, Chelsea, maybe I think you've got it right there. Sweet might be the next album.
Oh goddamn.
Maybe she'll like release like Sweet Tarts or something, which apparently only Canadians have.
She did already.
Sweet Tarts?
In like, aren't those the tiny?
No, those are cinnamon hearts.
Yeah, those are cinnamon hearts. No.
No.
Sweet Tarts are like a circle. I think the
do you
state.
mean the chalky ones that have like "I heart you" on them and stuff like that? I don't
Yeah,
even know.
those are just like
I don't
Valentine
know.
hearts.
We don't have them in Germany. I just saw people get them in their promo packages.
No, but that's just like, no, that's the
Yeah,
candy no one eats on Valentine's Day in
no one
middle
likes
school.
those candies.
No, sweet tarts are like rockets, but like better.
That like unlocked a memory in my brain. Wow, I forgot about those.
Yeah, oh, I love sweet tarts.
Crazy.
Anyways, Olivia Rodrigo, she's a queen. When she comes out with Sweet, we will be like Chelsea said it first. That's
I
it.
said it like 30 millionth. Like there's so many people, but I'll take it.
Take the credit.
It. Perfect. Thank you. I need this.
Okay, continuing with song questions. If you had to pick a song to play every single time you enter a room, sort of as an introduction or your theme song, what song would it be and why?
Oh man. See, I don't know if I should go for like hot girl vibes or sad boy summer, you know?
Mood.
So we'll see. What's a good song? Oh, I think it's Movement by Hosier.
Okay.
I mean, like, that's not a pumpin' song, but like, it's like a really like sultry song, and I'm really into it. So then maybe if they're playing that song when I trip into the room, no one will notice.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that song would be good. Also, like Dua Lipa, like just
Yeah.
We're Good is also
Yeah.
up there.
I can see the Spotify wheels turning. What is the song that I like?
I know. Yeah, can you? It's like do 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 do, and it's like first song that I can think of. Great.
Hannah, I feel like the next question you have to ask that one.
Sure, yeah. So I was gonna say, most Canadians, we love our coffee, but we all have our very specific place of getting our coffee
Oh,
from.
this is where I thrive. This is where I thrive.
All right. So what's your go-to coffee place? What's your go-to coffee order?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I need to preface this with I love coffee. Like I love coffee. Like for like our wrap gift for the show, like Ming ordered Little Havana, which is a coffee truck in Toronto. I think they're in the Junction, and
Yeah.
they do like I don't think it's Colombian coffee, but they do like cafe con leche and like they do like Spanish
Okay.
coffee. And so we had this little coffee truck. I had four coffees that day because I wanted to try all of their coffees, and they're double espressos. Like I had
Oh, so you were wired by the end of the day.
I was vibrating. Like I was just yeah, no. Like I love coffee.
Yes.
I also I worked in a coffee shop during the pandemic for like a
Okay.
solid 2 months. It was not a long job, but I like literally worked there because I just went into my interview and I was like, I just love coffee so much that I just want to be here so I can be around it.
Yes.
Anyway, moving swiftly along. My favorite coffee shop in Toronto, I'm sorry. My favorite coffee shop in Toronto is DeMello.
Okay.
DeMello Paletta, which their original location is at Yonge and Eglinton, and now they have a second location, which is at St. Clair West. I don't know what the intersection is.
That's okay.
But they are also, fun fact, one of the main roasters of Toronto coffee shops. So, like, a lot of coffee shops in Toronto use DeMello, or at least they used to.
Okay.
I don't know anymore because I haven't
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
like, going around the city. And
Because
then,
everything's closed, so you're like, what can I do?
literally.
Okay.
But there's also, what is else? There's another one that is, like, I need to mention. I just can't remember what they're called because I don't think I've been there in a really long
Okay.
time. Oh, I remember. Okay, they're called Origin. They're called
Yes.
Origin Coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know which one? The one
I
on
know.
Mount Pleasant?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! I love that coffee shop. They're so cool because the husband is like the coffee connoisseur and they have like every sort of like drip like coffee
It's-
possible. And then the wife does mosaics in the back. Like
It's
what? Like
I
my
love it. I'm a big coffee fan. Like I drink at least like 4 cups of coffee a
I had 3
day.
cups before we started this interview.
Me too. This is my 4th one because Dollar Drink Days are back. So So what's your go-to coffee order though? Are you an
Okay.
iced coffee girl or are you a
Okay.
hot coffee girl?
So
Let's
my
talk about
go-to
that.
drink order is a flat white,
Okay.
which originated in Australia. It's
It's
ridiculous.
I love a flat white.
They're so good. It's just the ratio is like perfect. And I just love them so much. But I get really upset when people make them and then they make them into like a like
They're
cappuccino.
either too milky
Yeah, and I'm like,
and there's not enough coffee and you're
correct.
like, but I wanted coffee. I didn't want milk.
Oh, you want to know how psychotic I am? Like, not actually psychotic, but just like my my first like oh my goodness, travel
Yeah.
trip with a friend was to New York because we wanted to go on a coffee tour that we made up ourselves. So
Okay,
we
so I need you to
literally,
send me that because that's what I'm doing once I can go to the States.
yeah, like that's literally what we did. We just went to New York for our reading week and then just drank
Just
coffee
drank
like three
coffee.
times a
That's
day.
that
And we're
seems
like,
like a trip of a lifetime, not gonna
I
lie.
had a great time. I had a great time.
So flat white all around, all year round, or do you
Oh gosh,
switch?
no. In the summer,
Okay.
it's definitely a good iced latte. Origin does a great iced latte.
Okay.
Their iced
Okay.
lattes are,
I'll probably go, once I can go and
I
get out of the
know,
house.
I know. But yeah, so iced latte for the summer and then flat white.
Okay. I love it. I'm a big coffee. I'm here for we could talk coffee all day.
I was like, I don't want to. She's like, I'm a
Coffee
horse.
doesn't Mel doesn't drink coffee, so yeah, I had the same reaction. She's not a coffee drinker. So I'm like, it's okay,
Me
I'll drink it
too.
for you.
Do you like tea?
A little. So I
Are you
mean,
using water?
yes. Or this fun stuff, which
What is
is
that?
I
It's like
I don't even
Fanta,
know.
but not
No, it's
Fanta.
not. I don't know what this means in English. So I'm just gonna say it in German and you both are not gonna have an idea. It's I'm quite a limonade, which is
Lemonade.
like
Something with lemonade.
it is kind of lemonade, but it's like herbs like from the Alps.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, dude. It's tasty.
Anyways,
Anyways,
weird German drinks. We'll just move
Love
past
it.
that.
Love it.
is it
I was in
German?
Frankfurt for one day, so unfortunately I was unable to try your drinks. But
But you have traveled. So what's your favorite place that you've traveled to?
man, I love traveling. That's the only thing that's getting me through this
Chelsea, I
pandemic.
feel like you and I just, if you and I went on a coffee trip in Australia or something, I think we'd have the best time together.
Oh, girl.
Do it in Germany, so I can watch.
Okay. Okay, deal.
Thank you.
So my favorite fan moment was I had a stopover in Germany on my flight back to Toronto, and it was like, where did I like trained from Paris to Paris to Frankfurt, and then we were flying from Frankfurt to Dublin, and then Dublin to Toronto. Like it was insane. And I went to go meet up with the group I was traveling with, and I was literally like, I had like $0 on me as well. Like literally, I got a fare from the change in my pocket, as one does, backpacking.
Yeah.
But I was in Frankfurt and I was in a Starbucks and I was ordering a coffee, and this girl was like, "Are you Esme from Degrassi?" And I was like, is this real? Like, is this actually happening right now? And it was like the most ridiculous thing because I had my backpack on, and then this like adorable family in the corner that was like, and like I had like we like chatted and whatever, and like we talked, and then she left because she was like, I am actually late for my train, like I gotta go. And I was like, I don't know where I'm going, can you show me on the map? Because I had a paper map because obviously my phone didn't work because I was in Germany.
Yeah.
And then the family was like, who are you? And I was like, oh, and she's like, can we get a picture? And I was like, I love that you have no clue who I am, but you're just trying to get in your like photos just to make sure you're covering your bases. Like, respect. So that was
Listen, they
hilarious.
probably look back on that photo and they're like, We met her at the airport. Flips hair.
I was gonna say they probably deleted it. Like they probably deleted it like years ago. But yeah, that was sorry. Yeah, I know that's not where our conversation was going. I just thought that was hilarious.
Well, I guess the Frankfurt airport's like your favorite place that you've traveled to then.
It wasn't even the airport. It was like right outside of this train station. Like I was literally in the middle. Not the middle, but I was like in the city. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because Toronto's just like whatever, you know. Like we don't really like amount of times I've probably bumped into someone. I'm like, well, cool, see you later, bye, kind of thing. Like I bumped into Shawn Mendes at a Raptors game, and I was like, bye, see you later. Like I was like, okay, I gotta go pee. Thanks.
Yeah, but that's also what I like about Toronto. It's very low key.
Yeah. So favorite place you've traveled to?
Oh, right. That's what the question was.
Yeah.
Copy that. What's the favorite place I've traveled to? Oh my gosh, Switzerland was beautiful. So I would say Switzerland. And then I would also say, we also went to Ecuador with Degrassi. So I would say Switzerland and Ecuador.
Okay.
Probably my favorites. Yeah. They're really pretty.
Okay, continuing with hard questions.
Oh my
If
God.
you could switch bodies with someone for an entire day, who would you switch with?
Who would I switch bodies with? Oh man, there's so many ways this question could go. Like a friend or like a famous person?
Anyone.
Doesn't matter.
Anyone. Anyone in this entire world. Interesting. I don't know. Oh my gosh, there's too much power in this. I feel like I would switch bodies with. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't even know. I'm like drawing a blank. I literally can't even think. Who would you switch bodies with? Give me time. Give me time.
Oh,
to...
well, now it would probably be Olivia Rodrigo because I'd be like, I need to know what's in your mind, girl. Like, let's go. So that's who mine would be today. Before, my answer was my dog
Your dog.
because she just sleeps the whole day and gets pet and given attention, and I'm like, I want attention.
I like attention.
Yeah.
Attention. Sorry, my brain just keeps going. Okay, well, I'm gonna steal.
Yeah, you can steal my answer. Steal my answer.
I want not to cause drama, but I would want to go into Joshua Bassett's body.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be Sabrina Carpenter. Let's fight.
No. The real tea came out.
Just for the tea.
Honestly, though, it is just for like I'm intrigued. Like I've never been intrigued in like celebrity like relationships before, but like I'm like something's happening here and I don't know what it is and it's not adding up and I'm confused.
But also
You know.
like save them all at all costs.
Yeah. No, you're right. 100%. So what's
Like
your
I would never share any information. I just want to know what it feels like to live that life.
No, I right there with you. I'm right there with Joshua Bassett. Not about Harry Styles could be another one too. I'm like,
Oh my god. No, I think I would just like to be loved by that man.
that too. That
Yeah.
too. So what's your craziest food combination?
Crazy
Because you
food
know,
com-
us Canadians love to put things together. Apparently, that's what I always
Oh,
get
do
told.
you like something I've bought or like something I do?
Something you do, something you buy.
Okay, have you ever put salt on grapefruit?
No.
Because that is so good. I know, it sounds really weird, eh? It sounds really weird.
Okay.
But
I know
like,
people put sugar. It's the Canadian. It's when you say A, because she does the same thing to me all the time.
oh, okay. I haven't
Um,
said sorry though. I've like tried to like learn sorry so that I can fit in.
It's okay. I say it all the time. I'm like, yeah, sorry, and they're like,
Oh,
sorry. I'm like,
I'm a
sorry.
hardcore so sorry girl. Like
Yeah.
hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Have you ever tried the cucumbers with sugar? Apparently it makes the cucumber taste like watermelon.
Wild. No, I have
You
not.
just like dip the cucumber in the sugar and take a bite, and apparently it tastes like TikTok.
Fair enough. Fair enough. My favorite TikTok sound right now is, "That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog."
I thought you were gonna say Castaways. I was like, that too.
Oh, true. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
But then the cardigans are coming back. I'm like, okay, hello.
Okay, continuing with the questions. If you didn't have the career you have right now, what would you be up to?
What would I be up to? Well, I probably would be graduated university by now. I don't know. I don't know what I would be up to. I definitely probably would have traveled a little bit more. And then I feel like I'm doing what I would be doing anyways. Like I'm doing like I'm studying anthropology in school, so I probably, if I hadn't graduated anyways, would be continuing it, so I'm still doing that. And then yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's been no, it's a hard question because I guess I've never had a point in my life where I've really been into anything else. So I've never felt like I've sacrificed something else in my life to do what I'm doing now. But also I am trying my best to like do both at the same time, which is also a little tiring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I probably would be in university, hopefully maybe doing a master's, but also who's to say I can't still do a master's? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely would not have a full-time job though, because what are those? So yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay. And the last question to end this interview, which is one of my favorite questions, is what is the most useless talent that you have?
Are you ready?
Oh no.
This is what I can do with my tongue.
Well,
That is my most useless talent.
I love it.
it's a party trick. I'm here for
That,
it.
oh, my favorite party trick. Oh, that's not even my best party trick. My favorite party trick is to go around the party and size up all of the guys to a planking challenge and then beating them because I can plank for 5 minutes. And then just watching their like, just like, you know, like
Their
they're,
minds
like,
are like, wait, what?
it's so fun. And I've done it like 3 times. I should probably stop, but
No,
yeah.
you keep going with the planks. You keep going with those planks.
No, it's just like a mental game, you know? Just
Yes.
like, you know, like knock them down a notch. You know, like
Yeah.
you know, like we're equals here. And look, now we actually are. So that's my favorite party trick. But yes, the tongue thing is also a weird one that freaks people out.
Oh, no, I love it.
Maybe I shared that with them.
So are you the only person in your family that can do it, or can your sister do it as well? Because sometimes
No,
only one can.
I can do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Many an hour when I was like 7 practicing that. Yep. Yeah. I put time into that. I put time into learning it. Yep.
Well, Chelsea, thank you so much for just coming on and talking with us. Love talking coffee with you. We'll continue to talk coffee with you because coffee makes the world go round, you know. But no, honestly, thank you so much. Like, you are just an amazing person overall, and we're just so grateful to have gotten the chance to chat with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. This has been such a lovely time. You guys are really cool, and I really appreciated you also taking the time to want to talk to me.
And that's girl stuff.